What if God isn't a distant, all-powerful being, but rather the very fabric of the universe itself? Could divinity be found in the laws of nature, the stars, and the intricate web of existence that surrounds us? These are the profound questions at the heart of pantheism, a philosophical doctrine that identifies God with the universe. The 17th century philosopher Baruch Spinoza was one of the earliest and most influential proponents of this idea, arguing that everything in the universe is an expression of a single, infinite substance, God. Centuries later, this concept resonated deeply with Albert Einstein, who found in Spinoza's vision a God that aligned with his own scientific understanding of the cosmos. In this video, while exploring the relationship between pantheism, Spinoza, and Einstein, we delve into a perspective that challenges traditional notions of God and invites us to see the divine in the very nature of existence. American architect Frank Lloyd Wright once wrote, "I believe in God, only I spell it nature." This, in a nutshell, sums up the philosophical doctrine of pantheism, the belief that reality is identical to divinity, that the universe is a manifestation of God. For pantheists, God is not an anthropomorphic meddler in human affairs, operating outside natural laws, but simply the perpetual being, the uncaused cause of all such laws, that lies at the heart of existence. There is thus no God, but the combined substance, forces, and laws manifest in the universe. Existence itself is divine. Pantheism is a profound philosophical doctrine that identifies God with the universe, suggesting that everything that exists is a manifestation of the divine. Unlike traditional theistic views, which depict God as a distinct anthropomorphic figure, pantheism offers a more integrated vision of reality, where divinity is synonymous with the cosmos itself. This concept found its most compelling expression in the philosophy of Baruch Spinoza, a 17th century thinker whose ideas later resonated with Albert Einstein, one of the most influential scientists of the modern era. Spinoza's magnum opus, Ethics, presents a radical redefinition of God, rejecting the notion of a personal interventionist deity. Instead, Spinoza argued that God is the underlying substance of all that exists, an infinite, eternal reality that encompasses everything in the universe. For Spinoza, God is not a being with whom one could have a personal relationship, but rather the very essence of existence itself. Spinoza's pantheism is grounded in the idea that everything in the universe is a mode of this single substance, which he equates with God. This substance is both immanent and transcendent. It is the cause of all things and yet exists within them. Spinoza's God is not a creator who stands apart from the world, but the world itself in its entirety. As such, understanding God is not a matter of religious devotion, but of philosophical inquiry and scientific exploration. By studying the natural world, Spinoza believed we could come to know God, as the universe and God are one and the same. Pantheism and panentheism are two closely related but distinct philosophical concepts that offer different interpretations of the relationship between God and the universe. In pantheism, as proposed by Spinoza, God and the universe are identical. This means that everything that exists, every object, thought, and action, is a part of God. There is no distinction between the creator and creation. Instead, all of existence is seen as a manifestation of the divine. Spinoza's pantheism is radical in that it completely rejects the idea of a personal God who exists outside of the universe and intervenes in it. For Spinoza, God is the infinite substance, the underlying reality that constitutes everything. Panentheism, on the other hand, posits that while the universe is contained within God, God also transcends the universe. In this view, the universe is just one aspect of God's being. God is more than just the sum of all parts of existence. God also possesses qualities, consciousness, or a being that exists beyond the physical universe. Panentheism allows for the universe to be a part of God without being identical to God, preserving a sense of divine transcendence. The debate over whether Spinoza's philosophy aligns more closely with pantheism or panentheism hinges on the interpretation of his conception of God's infinity. Some scholars argue that because Spinoza emphasizes the infinite nature of God, his philosophy could be seen as panentheistic, suggesting that God might have aspects beyond the physical universe. However, Most interpretations maintain that Spinoza is a true pantheist because he does not attribute to God any characteristics beyond those of the natural world. In Spinoza's view, God is the universe itself, a single, unified substance that encompasses all of existence, leaving no room for a reality beyond the natural world. Albert Einstein's intellectual and spiritual connection with Baruch Spinoza's conception of God is one of the most intriguing aspects of his philosophy. Einstein, known for his groundbreaking contributions to physics, often approached discussions of God and religion with caution. He was wary of being misunderstood, especially given the highly personal and anthropomorphic conception of God prevalent in many religious traditions. Unlike the God who is seen as a personal deity concerned with human affairs, Einstein's God was one of profound awe and reverence, a God of cosmic order rather than human intervention. Einstein admired Spinoza's view of God as an expression of the harmony and unity inherent in the natural world. This alignment with Spinoza's pantheism is evident in Einstein's famous 1929 letter, where he stated, "I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists, not in a God who concerns himself with the fates and actions of human beings." This declaration reflects Einstein's belief that the divine is not a separate entity overseeing the universe, but the very structure and laws governing it. For Einstein, God was synonymous with the rational, comprehensible nature of reality, a notion deeply rooted in Spinoza's idea that God is the single substance of which everything is a part. This perspective influenced Einstein's work and his broader worldview. He saw the pursuit of scientific knowledge as a way to glimpse the divine, to understand the mind of God, as it were. By exploring the universe's inherent order and elegance, Einstein felt a deep connection with the divine, not through prayer or worship, but through the rigorous application of reason and observation. In this way, Einstein's embrace of Spinoza's God highlights the profound intersection between science and spirituality, where understanding the cosmos becomes a path to experiencing the divine. Pantheism, the belief that God and the universe are identical, offers profound insights into our understanding of existence and our place within the cosmos. If God is synonymous with nature, then everything around us, including ourselves, is a manifestation of the divine. This perspective challenges the traditional separation between the sacred and the mundane, encouraging a view of the world where all of existence is imbued with divinity. The implications of this belief are far-reaching, influencing not only our spiritual outlook, but also our ethical and philosophical perspectives. One of the most significant implications of pantheism is the sense of unity it fosters. In seeing the universe as a single, divine entity, pantheism encourages us to view ourselves as integral parts of a greater whole. This interconnectedness can lead to a more holistic understanding of life, where the boundaries between the self and the other, between humanity and nature, become blurred. The recognition that we are not separate from the divine, but rather expressions of it, can inspire a deep sense of reverence for all forms of life and a greater responsibility toward the environment. Pantheism also prompts existential reflections on life and death. In this view, life and death are not opposing forces, but stages in the ongoing process of existence. Just as waves are temporary forms within the ocean, so are individuals temporary manifestations of the divine substance. This perspective can lead to a profound acceptance of the cyclical nature of life and the inevitability of death. The realization that we are part of something larger and more enduring can provide comfort and reduce the fear of death, suggesting that while individual forms may change or cease, the underlying reality continues. However, pantheism is not without its critics. Arthur Schopenhauer, a prominent German philosopher, famously criticized Spinoza's pantheism by labeling it as a euphemism for atheism. Schopenhauer argued that by equating God with the universe, Spinoza effectively stripped God of any distinct identity or agency. In Schopenhauer's view, pantheism does not provide a distinct understanding of the divine. Instead, it merely relabels the natural world as God. This critique raises important questions about whether pantheism truly offers a meaningful explanation of existence, or if it simply replaces traditional religious concepts with a more abstract, impersonal view of the divine. Despite such criticisms, pantheism remains a powerful and influential worldview. It challenges conventional religious beliefs by rejecting the notion of a personal, anthropomorphic God and instead positing a divine reality that is immanent in all things. This approach not only broadens our understanding of spirituality, but also bridges the gap between science and religion by locating the divine within the natural world itself. For many, this vision of a universe where everything is an expression of the divine offers a compelling and deeply satisfying way to make sense of existence. Pantheism, despite facing criticism, continues to resonate with many and inspire profound philosophical reflection. Its enduring appeal lies in its radical departure from anthropocentric conceptions of God, offering instead a vision of divinity that is inseparable from the fabric of the universe itself. By emphasizing the unity of all things, pantheism challenges the traditional boundaries between the sacred and the secular, inviting us to see the divine in every aspect of existence. In an era where scientific discoveries increasingly reveal the interconnectedness and complexity of the universe, Spinoza's pantheistic vision has gained renewed relevance. The idea that the universe itself is divine, that every part of nature is an expression of God, resonates with contemporary understandings of ecology, cosmology, and quantum physics. Pantheism's holistic approach aligns well with the modern scientific perspective that sees everything as interconnected, from the smallest particles to the vast cosmic structures. This alignment allows for a worldview where spirituality and science are not in opposition, but are complementary ways of understanding reality. For Albert Einstein, Spinoza's pantheism provided a framework that harmonized with his scientific beliefs, while still allowing room for a deep sense of wonder and reverence. Einstein's appreciation for the order and beauty of the universe found expression in Spinoza's concept of God, a God who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists. This vision of divinity did not contradict Einstein's scientific principles. Instead, it enriched them by offering a perspective that integrated the physical and the spiritual into a cohesive understanding of reality. In today's world, where traditional religious dogmas are increasingly questioned, pantheism continues to inspire those who seek a deeper, more integrated understanding of the divine and the universe. Its emphasis on the unity and divinity of all things offers a compelling and relevant way to engage with both the spiritual and the scientific dimensions of existence. As we continue to explore the nature of reality, the pantheistic view reminds us that we are not separate from the universe, but integral parts of the infinite substance that Spinoza called God.